Shall I continue?
Yes.
Yes.
So I was telling you about these very interesting kinds of channels which are called ion selective channels, and they are important for some essential roles in the organisms. Okay, so for example, you know that there are neurons. Okay, neuronal cells are able to carry out the transport of sodium and calcium ions, isn't it? Or sodium and potassium ions rather. Do you know that membrane polarization and depolarization? So that is because when the particular stimulus is given to the particular cell, then as a response to the stimulus, there is a movement of the sodium and potassium ions across the membrane. And that movement of the ions is responsible for causing either depolarization of the membrane or polarization of the membrane, depending upon the movement. Okay, and that polarization depolarization cycle, as it happens along the membrane, okay, in the cell, that is able to transmit the nerve impulse. Okay, so that is a very important function of the ion selective channels. If you want more information about this, then you can refer to some physiology book. Okay, physiology text you can refer, and you will get more information about how the action potential is generated in the neuronal cells. Okay, these channels are also responsible, for example, to trigger muscle contraction. Okay, calcium channels are important here for causing the muscle contraction. So these are just some examples of the ion selective channels. Then there are some channels which are called as ligand gated channels. Okay, when I say gated channel, it means that these channels have a particular mechanism where there is opening and closing of the gate, and therefore the molecules will enter the channel or they will not enter the channel depending upon whether the gates are open or closed. Okay, so these are called ligand gated because there is a particular small molecule which can bind to the receptor which is present on these channels. Okay, the channel is a big molecule which has a receptor protein or receptor domain which is exposed on the outside of the cell, and when a small molecule binds to that particular receptor, then that is a signal for the molecule to open up. Okay, and once the molecule opens up or the gate opens, then a particular molecule will go inside. Okay, now that, just remember that the molecule which is binding to the receptor is not necessarily the molecule which is going to enter the channel. Okay, that is why they are called as ligand gated. So ligand is any molecule which allows the gate to open for some other molecule to enter inside. Okay, sometimes that ligand and the molecule which is entering the channel may be the same. It may be the same, but it is not necessary that the same molecule will always enter in the channel. Okay, so that is called as a allosteric you can say site. The receptor site is an allosteric site where a particular ligand or allosteric molecule will bind to that receptor, and that will cause the opening of the channel. And when the channel opens up, then some molecule will enter inside the channel. Okay, now let us see an example here. Is nicotinic acetylcholine receptor. Okay, so acetylcholine is the molecule which will bind to the receptor. Okay, and when that receptor when the acetylcholine molecule binds to the channel, then it will cause the electric signal to be passed. Okay, and therefore the at the neuromuscular junction, and because of that signaling there will be membrane polarization or depolarization. That is, the sodium potassium ions will flow, and that will cause the muscle to contract, or it will cause it to relax. Okay. Okay, so let us see what the mechanism of this particular acetylcholine receptor. Okay, when acetylcholine is released by the motor neuron. Okay, there is a particular neuron which releases the acetylcholine. Okay, and this acetylcholine molecule diffuses to the plasma membrane of a particular cell, that is a myocyte or a muscle cell. Okay, this muscle cell has the receptor for acetylcholine. Okay, so acetylcholine is released by the neuronal cell and it is taken up by the muscle cell through the receptor. Okay, now the binding of acetylcholine to the muscle cell receptor will cause a conformational change in the receptor. Okay, And because of that conformational change in the receptor, it will cause the ion channel to open up. Okay, so there is a particular ion channel, that channel will open up like this. Okay, and because of the opening of the ion channel, the positively charged ions, for example sodium ions, will enter inside the channel, right? When the sodium ions enter into the channel, that will cause the depolarization of the membrane. So when I say polarization, it means that a large concentration of sodium ions is outside the membrane, okay, outside the cell, muscular cell, and a very low concentration of sodium is inside the cell. Okay, when that is the situation, we say that the membrane is polarized, isn't it? Low concentration outside, high concentration inside. But when acetylcholine binds to the receptor and the channel opens, the protons, the sodium ions which are outside, they will enter inside the membrane. And because of that, the concentration difference is lost. Okay, high concentration outside, low concentration inside, that polarization is lost because the sodium ions are entering inside the membrane. And when it causes the depolarization, that depolarization itself is a signal, or it is itself the you can say the message given to the muscle cell for contraction. Is it okay? Now this particular channel will remain open only for a fraction of second, okay, and immediately it will close. So the movement of the channel, okay, opening or closing of the channel will happen in a fraction of a second, right? So this is how diagrammatically it has been shown. This is the receptor for acetylcholine. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 subunits are there, which are forming the channel. Okay, inside is the channel, and there are 2 alpha subunits. Can you see that here? Alpha here and alpha here. Okay, then there is a beta, there is a gamma subunit. Okay, and there is a delta subunit here. Okay, alpha, beta, gamma, and delta subunits. Now these subunits are arranged in the membrane. They are membrane spanning, and inside the membrane they are forming the channel. Okay. Now acetylcholine will bind somewhere here on the outside. Okay, can you see these 2 dots here? Let me magnify the slide. Okay, this one yellow spot and the second yellow spot, these are the acetylcholine binding sites on the receptor. Okay, now there are transmembrane helices, each subunit, okay, alpha subunit, beta subunit, delta subunit, gamma subunit, all of these have 4 transmembrane helices, M1, M2, M3, and M4. Out of the 4 transmembrane helices of each subunit, the M2 helix, can you see this here? M2 helix, okay, of all the five subunits, they form the central pore. Can you see this pore inside? Okay, this pore is formed by the M2 helices. Okay, M2 helix of alpha, M2 of gamma, M2 of this alpha, M2 of delta, and M2 of beta. So all these 5 M2 helices are forming the central core or central pore. Can you all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Now, can you see this particular portion here? This is formed by the leucine side chains. Okay, bulky side chain of leucine molecule or leucine amino acid that is projected inside the core or inside the pore, and that is forming what is called as the gate. Okay, leucine is an amino acid which has a bulky side chain, and that bulky side chain is projecting inside the pore, and therefore it is forming the gate of the channel. Okay, so when acetylcholine binds to the receptor here, then that will cause a conformational change in the molecule, and because of the conformational chain, the leucine side chains are retracted. Okay, they are pulled on the side. Okay, and because of that pulling motion, this particular gate gets open, and when the gate opens, then sodium ions will move inside the channel. Is it clear? So that is why it is called as a ligand gated channel. Ligand is what? Acetylcholine. Acetylcholine is a ligand. When it binds to the receptor, then it will cause a conformational change in the molecule. Because of that conformational change, the leucine side chains are retracted. And when the leucine side chains are retracted, the gate gets open. And then through the gate, sodium ions can move inside. Okay, from a high concentration to the low concentration. So it is a channel protein. It is not a primary active transport, but it is facilitated diffusion. Have you understood it?
Yes.
Okay, then ion transport is also a very, very interesting kind of transport, which we are not going to study today. We will see that in the next lecture tomorrow. Is it okay?
Okay.
So do you have any difficulties? Any questions? When do you want me to take the internal test on sporulation? I told it, I said it will be tomorrow or day after tomorrow, Wednesday or Thursday. But if you want, I can change the timing. I'll put it on Saturday. Is it okay for you?
Yes, sir.
Saturday,
Yes.
maybe at 4 o'clock, 4 p.m. Is it okay? So I'll put it on the message box in your WhatsApp message so that everybody will.
Okay.
Okay. And if you want, I'll also give you the link for the videos. That will take 1 or 2 days. So I'll send you the video links also. Okay, so then I'll end this session. Bye, everybody.